Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and welcome to Impact. Each week we bring you information about exciting things that are happening in and around our community, and today will be no different. A recent publication called Just for a Season, written by a fairly local celebrity right here in our community named Micha Logan, was written in regards to an experience and a journey that she had that we're going to talk about today. And I'm so delighted to be able to introduce to you today for the broadcast, Micha Logan. How are you, Micha?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, this is really weird because we've known each other
Right,
for so
for a
long.
long time.
The mom and dad are some of my favorite people. And here you are, just like, you know, a niece, little sister or something. But it's just great to have you here today.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
You know, we've been trying to do this for a while, so everything happens for a reason in its own time. And I'm glad that we have this time now. And we're talking about this book, Just for a Season. I had cancer, but it didn't have me.
Exactly.
What a powerful story.
Thank you.
So take us on the journey, and I wish we had lots of time to do it, but let's go ahead and do the Cliff Notes version today.
Cliff Notes version.
Start from the beginning on this journey.
In 2013, I was having some issues with my body, and I was going to the doctor quite a bit. And on my last visit in about April, that's when they discovered that I had a lump. And, you know, when you're doing the test as women, they lay you back. You don't really know this, but they lay you back and they feel around. And she felt my right one. And then she went to my left one and she came back to my right one. And then they went back and they did some talking and discussing. And then they said, we set you up for a mammogram. And I'm thinking, like, in the next couple of years, because I'm 31 years old. That's not even in my vocabulary. Mm-hmm. I go to get my mammogram. I have to do a biopsy. They biopsy 2 spots. I get a call that next week that I had stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma. And they had no idea where it came from. Healthy, young, didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't run in my family. The doctor was in tears because she just couldn't understand. And all she kept saying was, "You're so young. You're so young." And in my mind, breast cancer was just something that people talked about in October. People wore pink. I hate the color pink. You know what I'm saying? So I never really paid attention to it. But when I found out, of course, people started sending me information. I started to research. And then after a while, I had to stop because it was just so much. Not soon after I found out, I had to start chemo immediately. I had to do 18 weeks of chemo, 37 rounds of radiation, and I had 2 surgeries. It was a lot in a short span of time. I entitled the book Just for a Season because everything really happened in about 9 months. I found out, had it, did everything I was supposed to do, and then I beat it. But it was not an easy process. I made the choice to go to work every day, which is unusual for anybody going through anything, especially chemotherapy. But for me,
why was that important for you?
I wanted to keep my regular life. I wanted to go out with my friends. I wanted to celebrate birthdays. I wanted to go on our family trip to Hawaii, even though, you know, we left 2 days, and 2 days before I had a chemo treatment. So on the plane, I'm masked up, I'm sick, I can't do anything, but I was there. I didn't want to miss opportunities, information about a disease that you have. You automatically think, I don't want to die. And my whole thing was, I'm going to live, and I'm going to live my best life. I'm young. And going to work for me really allowed me to be upfront. See, God wasn't going to let me sit in my room and be depressed. In order for my healing to be successful, I had to get out and talk about it. I had to be very transparent because he and I were going through some things. I was in a place in my life where I was really searching for who he really is. You grow up in the church all your life and you're told who God is, but you don't necessarily know him for yourself. And I remember sitting in church and I was looking around and I was like, man, everybody just looks miserable. Why are they here? I was miserable. And I told God at the beginning of 2013, this is what, be careful what you ask for. I asked God to increase my faith in him, allow me to appreciate my job more, and allow me to be more active in my community. And when I tell you he answered every one of those prayers through my diagnosis,
wow.
Every one of those prayers were answered. I discovered a new church. And when I walked in, the love that they showed me, like, it was unbelievable.
And it was what you needed at that
And
time.
it was what I need. God was so strategic in everything he did, in terms of from me meeting Pastor AD, then me going to All Nations Christian Center. And then it's just like everything I was asking for. Like, I needed that.
Yeah.
And so just for a season,
Yeah.
he had me go through this just for a season. And I can say that I came out of it a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I came out of it with more determination.
Yeah.
And I came out of it with a grateful heart.
Wow. What was that first conversation like with your parents?
Okay, so you know my parents. So I couldn't even get the sentence out before they were trying to get on a plane to come to me.
Yeah.
It was very difficult. My dad offered to come and live with me, to take care of me. My mom, she just, in her mind, I'm her baby. Even though I have a younger sister, I'm her firstborn. I am her faith pusher. So it was really, really hard for her. When my hair started falling out, she couldn't understand what was happening, like why I made the choice to go bald. Because I was at work and like I put my hands to my head and it was falling out. My dad said, don't let it happen to you. You happen to it. Go to the barbershop on Friday and get your hair cut. And I was like, okay. And I made a choice not to rock wigs or anything. I rocked a bald head.
And you
I
look good
was proud.
rocking it too. Yeah,
Thank you. And it was so amazing because I don't know if you've ever gone bald, but even as a man, like when you get in the shower and you can just let the water hit you and you don't have to worry about anything, the best feeling in the world. OMG. Best feeling in the world. So I had to, like, even through the process was difficult, there were aspects of it that I just kind of had to like roll with it and smile and laugh. I mean, there would be nights, Kenny, that I would be on the floor and it would feel like I had Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, George Foreman just beating up on me.
Wow.
And it was nothing anybody could do for me. All I had to do was lay on the floor and just call out the name of Jesus.
Wow.
And that, when I say that that was my faith walk, that I asked to get to know him more. I asked him to show himself to me. And through that, he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, my parents, they took it as any good set of parents would. They took it hard. They wanted me to be well. They traveled for my first 3 treatments. They came down for my first 3 treatments. And it wasn't cheap, but they sacrificed and they did it. And then finally I said, you guys don't have to keep coming anymore. I have enough people here that love and support me that can come and sit with me. Thank you.
Yeah. And you've taken, not only have you done the book now, but you've also sort of embraced this journey. I know that you're a very vocal advocate for breast cancer awareness, and you get very involved in this process now with fundraising and other kinds of things. Talk a little bit about that.
My main focus right now is young women. See, they're not telling young women that this is happening to them. They're saying that you can only get your mammogram after the age of 45 plus. But what about that 22-year-old, that 20-year-old? That 30-year-old, that 33-year-old, when she goes to the doctor and then they say, oh, but you're not 45, you can't get a member. But it runs in my family. My mother had it. There's something not right. So I feel that it's my, I don't say job, but I feel that it's my blessing to be able to encourage young women. Do the self-examinations. They tell you to do that for a reason. When you're at the doctor, know your bodies. For whatever reason, you're scared to know your body. No. If you can let some man touch on you, you can touch on yourself to feel what's going on. And that's how I have to approach it. Know what's going on with yourself. Ask questions. For whatever reason in our community, we don't like to ask questions. We find out everything at funerals and at weddings.
Wow.
Why do we have to wait till those things happen to find out anything about our family history? So those are the things that I am really an advocate for. And breast cancer just doesn't happen in October. I was diagnosed in May.
Great point.
Somebody is diagnosed in August. So who are we to just say that we only bring awareness in October? For that young girl who's like, okay, it's June 17th and I was just diagnosed. Who do I go talk to?
Wow.
In my research, there wasn't a book or any type of information from a young woman's perspective on how to be able to live and still do the things that you love, even though you're going through this. And I was like, I don't want to hear another story from another old woman. God bless them. But I need to hear something from somebody young and vibrant. And so I made a decision, like, I got to write a book. I got to put it out there. And it's just basically my journal entries, until I got tired of writing when I didn't have the energy. But it's my thought process, and it's everything that I went through during that season.
Yeah. And the transparency of it.
Yeah.
Has to be a powerful experience. It has to be a liberating experience. And I would imagine for yourself, it also has to be a cathartic experience where you're you're in a sense reliving the journey,
Yeah.
but you're also sharing the journey with others who can benefit from it, which you see as a very valuable thing now.
It was interesting when the book came out. There was a young woman, she was in my Facebook inbox, and she was just adamantly trying to get the book. And at the time, I didn't realize what was going on. Well, she finally got it, and come to find out, a young woman going through chemotherapy, and she was reading my book while she was going through chemotherapy, and it allowed her to get it together and say, I can do this. And I said, if I wrote this book just for her, it was worth it.
Wow.
So stories like that were coming to me, and I said, okay, when God gives you a vision, he'll give you provision, and when you hear it and you know it's from God, everything will work itself out. Through this process, all I kept saying was, all things work together. So who am I not to be transparent? Because my transparency is what somebody needs to get them through. So I had to be. And it was not easy reliving those moments. As I was going through my journal, I was like, man, that's how I felt? That's what I said? Man. And it was okay for me to be angry that this happened to me. But I just couldn't stay there. I couldn't stay in my anger.
Yeah.
The devil wanted me to do that, but God was like, no, I need you to come out of this.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think your story is real powerful because a lot of people have had the experience. They've had the diagnosis, and there are multiple pathways to take once a diagnosis hits.
Right.
And even in those best of circumstances where there is good treatment, where there's good medical care, where there's a supportive group of people around you, some people stay in that place.
They do.
And it's very dark, and it's very counterproductive, and it can actually end up, in a person's life being lost as a consequence of that. But yet you chose to fight. You said you're going to live, and you've done that with great power, conviction, purpose, and energy.
Thank you.
And that is just a remarkable story.
Thank you. I walked into Clearview Cancer Institute. I've never been to so many doctor's appointments in my life. But every time I walked in there, whether it was to get blood, to have a treatment, I walked in smiling because my thing was I wanted somebody to be able to look at me and know, like, it's going to be okay. And I tell a story about a man who stopped me and said, you have such amazing energy. Can I have some of that? And I said, so you do know that I'm here to get my treatment too, right? But what happened was he didn't have anybody there with him.
Wow.
And after my treatment, I went and checked on him. Even during my treatment, I went and made sure he was okay, that he was smiling, that he had his crackers and his ginger ale. I prayed for him. Because it wasn't about me. A lot of people think that when things happen to them, it's like, this is happening to me. No, it's happening for you to help somebody else.
Wow.
And once you realize that, you will be able to look at your journey and your process completely different.
Yeah. Well, that's such a powerful story. We're out of time, actually. I'm just sitting here thinking, how can I squeeze more out of you in the time that we have left? But why don't we do this? Why don't we tell people, is the book still available?
It is. It is still available.
How can people get in contact with you and also get the book?
Okay, you can go online to my website, michalogan.com, MICHALOGAN.com. I'm on all social media, at ML6. On Instagram, on Twitter, it's Middays ML6, and Facebook, it's ML6. And you can catch me each and every day, Monday through Friday, 10 to 2 on 103.1 We Up.
I love it. ML6 in the house today.
Yes.
Micha Logan. The book is Just for a Season. I had cancer, but it didn't have me. What a powerful story and what a powerful legacy, and the fact that you now have embraced your purpose.
Yes.
As sharing this with other people is really the essence of everything that we've experienced today. Thank you for being so transparent and sharing your story with us.
Anytime.
All right. Boy, that was powerful. Micha Logan. And we hope that you will definitely share this video. Let people know that you've watched it. You'll have lots of opportunities to do so. But we certainly hope that you will allow her message to touch somebody else's life, because it is indeed a very powerful message. We hope that you'll also like our Facebook page, which is Impact with Kenny Anderson. In the meantime, we hope that you have a great rest of the week, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day.